Jewish people to self-determine themselves is foundational to everything. And the idea the failure to recognize the state of Israel is taking away that self-determination. So it is anti-Semitic. That is a statement of that is fact. So
Tim Walz is such a diehard Zionist that he canceled meetings with Palestinians when he realized he couldn't use them as a political prop.
And I'm just here to tell you that we were supposed to meet with Governor Walz and our meeting got canceled. We met with the staff right before then, and they were under the impression that we were going to talk about our stories and just share our stories and cry and play the victimhood narrative. But as soon as we told them that we would not just share our victimhood, but talk about how we can materially affect change, how Governor Walz can and should divest from the SBI, that's when they decided to go deliberate, and then they came back and informed us that our meeting was canceled.
Once Tim Walz realized the Palestinians actually had demands that they wanted to end the genocide in Gaza, he canceled their meeting and refused to meet with them. Completely shameless that a ton of fake progressives who was chanting for months now that they would never support genocide is now hyping Tim Walz and decided to support this ticket. But let's be real, the fake DSA, Bernie left, was always looking for a reason to sell out the Palestinians and the global working class.
Come on, come on. Okay. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all open it with me. Okay.
She gonna cry. No.
wow.
Look at that powerful. That's powerful.
Oh my God.
Y'all ready? Hey.
Oh,
all right, the forerunner, Cori Bush.
Oh.
A story of pain and perseverance in America.
Oh,
Today is the day. Look at that. Praise for Cori Bush.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Oh my goodness. It's like and I was ready to say it's like a real book, but it is.
A real book.
It's like a real book.
It's like a real book.
That's what they said. Cori Bush is a Renaissance woman. Perfect song. Every woman.
We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right.
Everything you want, baby.
Oh,
I do it
gosh.
naturally.
So those are your keep those in your books.
You have to sign it. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congresswoman, author, nurse, pastor, architect of the Ferguson uprising. It don't stop.
Hey.
Yes.
At least you got a book deal out of it. What's poppin', my friends, my family? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode. This is our third stream this week already. I had to jump on solo. I had a few things on my mind. Also, more importantly, I want to plug the mutual aid event and mobilize some homies in Kansas City. I have another speaking engagement with Worker Strike Back. Worker Strike Back going to be in Kansas City. I will be joining with them on Sunday. I also have a mutual aid event on the 19th. We're giving away school supplies, clothes, and giving away free haircuts. I'm coordinating this with a local barbershop in my community. Once again, if you don't talk to people in your community, if you're not known in your community, you're not really a socialist. Or I don't want to say that because I don't want to keep that hard. You are not even on the road to being an aspiring socialist yet. You can't be afraid of your neighbors. Talk to your neighbors and organize. And that's why I'm trying to tear down this dumb left here. Here's Cori Bush celebrating a book deal. At least you got a book deal, my friend. At least you got a book deal, my friends. And as I said here, I had the top comment in her stream because, as I said before, the dream, anyone who pushing going through the Democratic Party is deeply unserious. Because They turned Cori Bush, my friends. How they turned Cori Bush so she can support the NATO proxy war and break rail strikes. Things that she has done. As people are mourning Cori Bush, she has a horrific record. A pro-war, anti-worker voting record. You guys know she voted to break the rail strike. You guys know that, right? I guess RBN, we the only people that care about voting records and stuff, I guess. You have this person who just got elected, who's releasing a book. Releasing a book on what, ma'am? What did you accomplish? You guys see among the PMC class, getting elected is the goal and the victory. They get elected and they celebrate. Pull the ladder up. And as I was saying, I'm someone who live in Missouri. I was on the streets in Ferguson. I was on the street in George Floyd. I got tear gassed by a police state. There's a reason why I'm militant. And everyone in Missouri activist spaces knew and heard about Cori Bush. When I was obviously a little bit more to the right, I would have decided about Cori Bush, but that's because I knew who she was. She was a nurse. She was an activist on the street. But the second she got elected, she got tamed by Nancy Pelosi and the NATO war machine. She loves the Ukraine proxy war. She says, everyone, all the homies in St. Louis stand for Ukraine. So if my thing is, and I have a different interpretation of this than other people, I'm clear that I think AOC was CIA from the very beginning, and there's a lot of evidence of that. But I believe Cori Bush, based on everything I knew, was a legit activist, and they still flipped her. So my mindset, and this is one of the things that led me to shift farther to the left, become revolutionary, was if they can flip Cori Bush, they flipping everybody. You can't expect people who are running within the Democratic Party machine and seeking that kind of power to stick to the principles. And you know these people are willing to sell out when they decide to run as a Democrat because they say stupid shit. Which is why I celebrate when these idiots lose, these people who want to lead the left off a cliff. They say stupid shit like, oh man, Nick, we can't run as a third-party candidate. We can't run third party because if we run third party, we might lose. Ignoring the fact that most of you motherfuckers already lose running as a Democrat because you guys are being defeated by Aipac. Imagine having the strategy. Imagine being so stupid that you criticize third-party activists for having a strategy where they can't win, as your strategy is to run within the Democratic Party where they get rid of progressives with AIPAC. So even if you do win, even if you do the impossible, you will lose only a matter of 2-3 years. 2-4 years. Maybe 6 at best. And if you're not losing within 4 years because we live in a capitalist dictatorship, they sold out. We see how aggressively AOC have sold out. Cori Bush sold out on NATO. She made a mistake and she realized that they do not concede any issues. You can't do a little bit of selling out. Cori Bush and these social democrats, they make this false bargain that hey, if I do a little bit of selling out, they will accept me. No, they will never accept you if you question them on any issue. And people are like, well, she's good on Israel. You guys know how I feel about that. I don't even think you're that good on this issue if you condemn the Palestinian resistance, but she spoke out on ceasefire. Good for you. You're in line with the majority of the global population. Good for you. You want to know what the global majority of the population does not support? The NATO proxy war. So congratulations. You got an easy to figure out issue correct. But you cannot sell out. And I had, look at the last Palestinian roundtable that I had, because I invite activists in the Palestinian community on our show. And one of the guests that we had on literally lit the panel on fire because she was explaining how if you support imperialism everywhere, like she said specifically, if you support the Ukraine war, if you support wars in Africa, you are not an ally of the Palestinian cause, which shows how amazing these Palestinian freedom fighters are, that they still maintain their international solidarity despite the hell that they're living through. You in Gaza, you have a moral of George Floyd in Gaza. For there have been a long time standing solidarity between Palestinians, South Africans, and African Americans. They always stood up for our struggles, despite everything they're going through. There's been this long-standing solidarity between us, and that's why you will never catch me in a million years praising, supporting, and advocating for the people responsible for genocide. Because people will say stuff like this to me. They will say, Cori Bush, Nick, why are you being so mean on her? Isn't she good on Israel? Isn't she calling out the genocide? Didn't she endorse genocide Joe Biden? Isn't she endorsing genocide Kamala Harris? And I have another banger tweet that I sent out, which is common sense. I'll put out bangers on Twitter. I'm like, bro, that's fucking common sense. The fuck? If you are a liberal, and I'm talking about like the average dumb normie liberal. I'm not talking about the Rachel Maddow types. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the average person who I always try to have sympathy for, who is propagandized. You're a liberal. You watch CNN. You know what I mean? You deny that there is a genocide going on in Gaza. But because you deny that there is a genocide in Gaza, that's why you vote for the Democratic Party. Because even though you're a dumb, ignorant liberal, you strongly believe in your heart that you voted for what you believe is right because you're dumb and propagandized. So the progressives, like Cori Bush, like Kyle Kulinski, like Cenk Uygur, all these motherfuckers, AOC, who said there's a genocide going on in Gaza, they are more morally bankrupt than the ignorant liberal, because at least the ignorant liberal don't know that there's a genocide going on. You know that there's a genocide going on, and you still prefer to facilitate the worst act of humanity. These are the progressives who support the Democratic Party, that supported Genocide Joe. It was all in line for Genocide Joe. Now they have another reason to support genocide. They've been waiting for any reason. The DSA, they've been waiting for any reason to sell out the Palestinians. So how does that make you morally just if you know there's a genocide, but you still choose to facilitate it? Instead of, like, there are people I know who apolitical, probably have no idea what's going on in Gaza, who would just vote out Democrat out of habit. I don't hate those people. I may think they're a little bit ignorant, but they're not making an active choice of being evil. They are just ignorant. And this is my tweet. Liberals who deny there is a genocide is not as bad as progressives who acknowledge there is a genocide, but want to vote for the people responsible for said genocide. At least the liberal is just probably ignorant. The progressive is knowingly enabling the worst kind of evil. That is Cori Bush. That is the Justice Democrats. That is the DSA. The DSA who sent out a enthusiastic endorsement of Tim Walz, the person who believed in Jewish supremacy and Israelis can commit as many war crimes as possible. And if you question said war crimes and you want Israel to be held accountable, he says you're anti-Semitic. That's things that Tim Walz has said that these people support. These are the people in power they support. So what does it matter what you virtue signal about, what you tweet about, if you enable and give power to the people that committing crimes that is against your politics? That inherently doesn't make any sense. Here's Worker Strike Back and Shama getting it right again. You guys know I'm friends with anyone who's post duopoly, which they are, especially if you post duopoly with a socialist ideology, which they have. I talk to them. But I'll give another speech with them this week. Squad member Cori Bush has lost to the Democratic establishment. Like AOC and Bowman, Bush helped block rail workers' strike, and she rushed to endorse Kamala Harris. And remember, she did so without any demands, without anything given to the progressives, the same way that she voted for Hakeem Jeffries without any ask or any demand. Meanwhile, if you were to type Cori Bush's name on this Twitter search handle, we might do it for fun. If you look at the people who pretend they're on the left, they're mourning Cori Bush losing right now. The Jacobin types. I can only imagine how much Ryan Grimm, Cal, all of them melting down. In fact, let me look. Aipac was trending #1 today because all the people bitching and complaining. You guys see it's on my For Me tab. It was #1. See, it's #4 now. The Aipac is #4 just because the amount of tears coming from the dumb left who advocate that we take over a party that is ran and controlled by Aipac. How does that even make sense? You guys see how they purposely give the left dumb strategies, which is why we're here to cut them down and motivate people to stop wasting working class resources and spend it on mutual aid, spend it on revolution. Let's see a few of these Aipac tweets. We're gonna cover this here soon. That her concession speech. Oh, I saw this tweet. This is who we lost tonight. Fuck Aipac. 27,000 likes for this, man. We shared the story of Cori Bush slept outside the Capitol to protest evictions. Democrats credited her for renewed protections. That is bullshit, fake news. And I've seen this being spread all over Twitter. People say, oh my God, we lost a real one. Do you guys remember when Cori Bush protested homelessness? Dumb left. This is fake news. We covered this as this was happening. We talked to activists that was on the ground. Cori Bush, AOC and the squad had a performative action where they left early and abandoned the real activists that stayed. They put this fake action up to extend rent moratoriums. Then the Supreme Court struck it down immediately. And then they never came back and never addressed the issue again. So they actually did not get anything. They lost the rent moratorium battle. But, and this is all over Twitter from these fraudulent leftists, the fake progressive leftist fucks who are spreading fake news about how Cori Bush led the charge and got a victory for homeless people. This is fake news, my friends. What actually happened was we warned on RBN that the battle wasn't done. Cori Bush and AOC declared victory when Biden signed the executive order that we knew was going to be thrown out in the Supreme Court. So we warned people on RBN before it even happened. You can check the history. We told them that you got to stay in the streets and continue to put pressure because the job is not done. So Cori Bush and the squad went home. And after they went home, the real activists stayed on Capitol Hill. And that's when the political theater was over. And that's when the police came and cracked the head of the protesters. Then Cori Bush and the squad proceeded to say nothing about it. You guys see how the dumb left is sharing fake news to trick people that the DSA is on the DSA left, the Cori Bush NATO left is on their side? I'll pop a blood vessel covering this, man. I'm gonna pop a goddamn blood vessel. Because I guess this is the value of my citizen journalism over the last few years, because I've been covering this actively. I've been actively covering this shit every day for 3 years. So you motherfuckers are not going to trick me. Ryan Grimm, Mehdi Hassan, you're not going to trick us You're not going to trick my community, and that's why I'm proud, because at least I know I got y'all motherfuckers back, because a ton of people are falling for this. At least I can sleep easy knowing people that subscribe to RBN is not going to fall for none of this bullshit. People writing tweets eulogizing Cori Bush, pretending that we lost a fighter, even though she's pro-war and she voted to broke a rail strike. The cringe I have seen on the timeline, my friends. Let's continue this. Let's continue this Aipac. This is my friend Thea. We are not going to vote your way out of this mess. This is organized crime. Well said. This is my good friend. Big shout out to her. I don't think we can play Breakfast Club, actually. Here's the Justice Democrats who was exposed because was proven, and this is why they are coping. They was proven to have the dumbest strategy in the history of politics, especially on hindsight. Their strategy was that we was going to take over the Democratic Party through electoral politics, and this was their strategy, even though they knew Aipac existed. And I take my L too for believing that when I was a young, dumb social democrat. It was absurd to believe that. And here they are, still trucking. Years later, still trucking. People are like, why are you so happy Cori Bush lost, Nick? Why are you celebrating this? As Kwame Ture says, because I listen to my radical brothers, socialism does not fail. We have people who fail socialism. A famous lecture for Kwame Ture that I shared. Socialism is a proven science. It does not fail. You have people who fail socialism. If you are a socialist in enabling an imperialist structure like NATO, for example, an imperialist structure like the Democratic Party in break a rail strike, you failed socialism the way that Kwame Ture talked about, and we should not forgive you, and we should treat you like the class enemy that you are. And you losing is a good thing, because now there will be less working class funds that will be siphoned away from real projects like mutual aid, like we're building, into your dumbass campaign. So I'm glad she lost now, because that's less people in St. Louis that's going to waste their money donating to this sellout who betrayed socialism. I'm begging DSA, I am begging Justice Democrat to read any book about socialism. Listen to any lecture about socialism. And you guys wonder why people think the United States left is a joke? Why people think Marxism is about purple haired college teenagers fighting over cultural wars? That is not what socialism, Marxism, and revolution is. One big reason, of course we have propaganda, but one big reason why the American working class is confused is because of you guys and your inability to engage in socialist praxis, which is the most important part of being a socialist, not just being a fan, but living it. I'm building my community. I'm meeting with leaders of barbershops. I am reaching out to other organizations. I am giving speeches. As a socialist and as a communist, you should be doing everything you can to build organization. We have a bunch of professional managerial class bums who watered down what it means to be a socialist, and the left is weak in the United States because of that. Despite that, you have people that still on Twitter get upset with me because I have purity tests. Anyone who uses the term purity test is a shit lib. Do you guys understand? Is a shit lib who is upset because you don't sell out your principles. And it's insane that people like this openly said stuff like that and they're not embarrassed to me. I get these people. I love sparring. You guys see the people who follow me on XD all the time. You guys know I love a good debate. I spar with these shit libs all the time. I know exactly what they say. I know what they're going to say, and I have a blast, which is why I got almost 130,000 followers, because people love my little sparring sessions I have with these shit libs. Anyway, let's move on. I was trying to find something. This is my event I'm doing in Kansas City. So I'm speaking in Chicago. I think the rally is on the 20th in Chicago. So I'm speaking in Chicago on the 20th, and then on the 11th we have a rally in Kansas City as well. So if you're a Kansas City comrade, I would love to shake your hand directly. I love meeting all of the people in the RBN family. I literally never had a bad experience meeting you guys in real life. I had a blast in Seattle. I had a blast meeting the friends and family at KU as well. Going to have a blast meeting you guys in Chicago and all the homies that show up in Kansas City. It's gonna be popping. It's gonna be popping. Here's Cori Bush in the feed. So let's listen to her concession speech, which I think is I think was worth listening to. I'm gonna have some comments. Let's listen to it. This is her after losing without even going out in a blaze of glory. And this is what I'll say before I continue this video. What's sad about Cori Bush is that she didn't even go out in a blaze of glory. For example, there are people who make excuses for the squad. They will say stuff like, well, you can't expect the squad to speak out against the NATO-Ukraine war because if they do that, they may lose their election. You can't expect the squad to do this. You can't expect the squad to do that. You can't expect them to stand up against the Venezuela coup, which AOC supported, which Dr. Cornel West never tweeted about, by the way, ever. We're gonna be weak on that. We're gonna allow the empire to continue to be weak because if we challenge them on those issues, we will lose. So they then sell out on very important issues, and they still lose. You voted for Nancy Pelosi. You voted for Hakeem Jeffries for speaker out of fear that if you didn't, you would lose. So you went along to get along, and you still lost. That is pathetic. If there was ever an alternate reality where I ever got elected, I'm one and done. This is the kind of shit that AOC used to talk about. I'll spend my time calling out Israel, the corruption of Wall Street. I would spend my time on the speaker floor explaining the history of the CIA, the color revolutions we funded, how we funded Nazis in Ukraine. The entire establishment were rallying against me, and I'll be out of there in 2 years. But I would have did a better service for the global working class than the average motherfucker does in 30. But you guys are losing despite the fact that you guys didn't do that. What? So Cori Bush, you didn't even call out the Ukrainian proxy war scam that is responsible for the deaths of 500,000 Ukrainians and leading to World War III, which led to a black market boom in guns. So if you would have called out the Ukraine proxy war, then yes, you may have lost because the Democrat establishment would have went after you. But at least you would have went out in a blaze of glory, which you did not do. You went out in a blaze of shame, voted for NATO. And I'm going to show you guys that here very soon. But here's the concession speech. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on that tangent.
Pulling me away from my position as Congresswoman. All you did was take some of the strings off.
Bro, what? Bro, what did you say? Hold up. Did you say that? Bro, there are all these progressives that are coping right now. That was like, Cori Bush was defiant in defeat. She just admitted that she was a puppet on the strings. Unreal stupidity from Cori Bush here. Here she admits that she wasn't going all in because she was a puppet of the Democrat Party. And then she's going to continue and say that now she's not a puppet of the Democrat Party. Now she's going to be a radical. essentially admitting in front of the entire country that she sold the fuck out, and now she's not elected Congress member, that she can start fighting seriously. A damning admission that the Cori Bush left is so dumb they don't even realize it. I watched this and my jaw was on the goddamn floor, and I realized I was going live today.
Pulling me away from my position as Congresswoman. All you did was take some of the strings off.
Oh, she's so dumb. She's so dumb. And I'm going to show you guys later. Another reason why Cori Bush was easy to pick off, and the reason why she was an amazing target for the left, was because she was a dumb representative for the left. She couldn't even explain leftist policies. And as someone who's been advocating for intellectual working class movement, I'm sorry if it's mean, but I'm not here to sugarcoat shit. We can't have dumb people representing the working class. And I'm going to show you guys a clip that the right wing has been playing for years of her can't even explain basic fucking policy. And she makes everyone on the left look bad. She makes everyone look bad, my friends. But anyway, sorry, let me continue. Man, that's a hilarious admittance, but it get worse.
All you did was take some of the strings off.
The sum of the string?
Let's be clear. 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 Let's talk about what it really is. Because see, now I don't have to worry about some strings that I have attached, and as much as I love my job.
Stop saying that, you fucking dumbass. And people wonder why this fucking idiot lost. No, I don't got the job anymore, y'all. I don't got the job anymore, y'all. I don't have to sell out anymore, y'all. So I got y'all. No, you're not welcome. You're a sellout. You got a lot of fucking behind the curtain work to do. You got a lot of class traders, silent donating to do before anyone should ever trust you again. That's unbelievable. She keeps saying it. Unbelievable.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Let's talk about what it really is. Because see, now I don't have to worry about some strings that I have attached, and as much as I love my job. But all they did was radicalize me, and so now they be afraid.
Now they radicalized you, Cori. Now you radicalized. You were supposed to be radicalized before you got in Congress. What happened? What happened to you being radicalized before you was in Congress? Seeing NATO expand and promote endless war and instability, that's not enough to radicalize you? Seeing the Democratic Party deny us the right to have Medicare for all, that didn't radicalize you already? You wasn't even radicalized yet. She lost a job. She lost a job and now she radicalized. We all been there, Cori. We all been there. Got fired so hard. Now she finally a socialist. She might finally read some Marx now. She might finally read some theory now. I've been there, Cori. Jesus. This is the person that the people on the left is mourning right now. We as the left-wing working class movement is better off without these people siphoning resources from real left-wing projects like the shit Rome is working on. Rome had a amazingly successful mutual aid event this Sunday in Orlando. I have an event I'm planning with a local barbershop on the 19th. But the PMC class, the Ken Klippensteins, the Sam Cedars, the Cenk Uygurs, the Emma Vigelands, the Nina Turners, they'd rather donate to this person instead of RBN. Someone explain it to me.
Because see, now I don't have to worry about some strings that I have attached, and as much as I love my job. But all they did was radicalize me, and so now they be afraid.
You now radicalized. So fucking stupid.
See, now they about to see this other Cori, this other side. Cause let me say this. I just grew up a whole lot more over the last few weeks. Just grew up a whole different way. And so what they are about to get, they think. So the thing is this. The thing is this. I don't think that anything, there is nothing that happens in my life that happens in vain.
Coach.
So if this happened, it's because it was meant to happen. And let me say, it's because of the work that I need to do. And let me say this. Aipac, I'm coming to tear your kingdom down.
You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit. You're not gonna do it. You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do it. I promise you. She ain't gonna do shit. What revolution you planning, ma'am? She said she talking about she gonna tear the house down. Motherfucker, you endorse Kamala Harris. Talking about you gonna tear the house down. You endorse Kamala Harris, ma'am. You endorse Hakeem Jeffries, ma'am. I'm gonna tear the house down. Fam, the progressive left is losing their shit over this quote on Twitter right now. Oh my gosh, we've lost a real fighter. Oh my God. The clownery of these motherfuckers. You've seen RBN over the last few weeks, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to brag, I really don't. But I am talking to intellectuals and journalists who live in China, in Moscow, who do work from France, Honora Bertrand, for example, who does work in the UK. I have an entire international coalition I formed where I'm talking to internationally minded people. Compared to the United States left to these people I'm talking to, like Jing Lee, Carl Zah, all these people, they are fucking clowns, and I have no respect for the United States left. I barely consider myself a part of the United States left. I am a part of the International Anti-Imperialist Coalition. Do not lump me with these motherfuckers. I am a communist, not a social democrat. I am a revolutionary, not a fucking member of the progressives. DSA is bankrupt, thank God. And there are people who are in shambles because I am clowning Cori Bush. I clown the squad and Berlin. Oh my God, Nick, you don't like anybody. Nick, why you always got to be a negative Nancy? Nick, you don't like anybody. You guys on Twitter see it. We got a lot of people on X watching this live stream right now. We got 946 people watching. A lot of y'all from X. You guys see the people. Nick, why don't you guys like them? No, they are the best. No. They're here to facilitate a dumb left. And those are the people that are mourning Cori Bush right now. These frauds have such a small margin over the last 4 years in the House, they could have shut down anything Genocide Joe did and demanded victory for the working class, and they refused to. They have 5 votes. 5 votes between AOC, Cori Bush, Jamal Bowman, Rashida Tlaib, and Ilhan Omar, and they never used their leverage to get anything for you. So why are you upset that Cori Bush lost? Explain it to me. She didn't do a goddamn thing for you or the hood, and y'all crying over her? Look on X. Look at these clowns. mourning this warmonger who sold out the global working class. Everyone in Africa is against the Ukraine war. Everyone. Africa been speaking out against it. Lula, the moderate in Brazil, he's a fucking moderate. Lula called out the NATO war. AMLO called out the NATO war. The entirety of Africa does not support NATO escalating tension against Russia. You want to know the only Negroes in the world that does. The only Negroes in the world that support NATO are the Negroes in the Black Congressional Caucus. Are the people like Cori Bush. I am a Pan-Africanist. I support international anti-imperialist coalition. I will not sell out my African brothers and sisters for crumbs. I refuse to allow the Ukrainian people to suffer at the hands at the murderous Putin regime. The Putin regime. How many flags does Russia have in Africa? Real quick question. Now you guys see the strange she's talking about? St. Louis. Wait, what the fuck that go? Then I clicked something. Hold up. Here it is. St. Louis overwhelmingly stands with Ukraine. And I voted to support the Ukrainian people in the struggle against Russia's illegal invasion, including $60 billion to Ukraine. She didn't send $60 billion to the hood. All the Black people mourning this sellout, did she send $60 billion to the hood? No, she sent $60 billion to Nazis in Ukraine. And the dumbest motherfuckers are the people on Twitter mourning this person who's responsible for escalating World War III against a global nuclear power, for starting a black market boom of guns that is already spreading throughout terrorist groups in Africa. White supremacist groups are now armed to the teeth directly because of what Cori Bush did. She funded Nazis, not the hood. And people are mourning her. We don't need these dumb lefties, these sellouts representing the working class. It's nothing but a blessing and a boom that she lost. Oh, shit, I need to make sure I get a super chat. This is going to be a one-topic stream today. I got a busy week coming up, guys. I have so much shit going on. Tomorrow the Sabby and JB show. I got a lot, man. I'm already behind. I got so much shit to prepare for. So this is gonna be a one-topic stream today because this is a lot to talk about. I need to make a note to read super chats. I didn't forget about you guys, so I'm gonna read super chats. I'm gonna read 2 actually, and then I'll read the rest after this part. Thank you for the super chat, Mark. If you could harness Nick's energy, you could buy. If you could drive your EV 3 times around the globe per rant. I'm glad that you guys enjoying it. I wasn't planning on going live today, so this is mostly a rant stream and a stream frustration on the left. I had some other stuff that I'm gonna cover too, and I wanted to show you guys my hotspot video, and also more importantly, I had to go live to plug my mutual aid drive that I started today. So RBN, we are in overtime, bro. Everyone is active. Everyone is doing shit. So I was like, man, I gotta go live to plug my mutual aid, and I got a lot of shit to talk about. And you guys know I'm always down for a good rant. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys help like and subscribe. We are still shadow banned on YouTube. Like this stream is popping on X. Like we got 980. Oh shit, we almost had 1,000 views right now. That's across X and YouTube. X is popping. YouTube, we still shadow banned. So make sure you guys like and share. That's the only way we can break it. We're still working on that. They don't want my voice. I don't have any faith in that. YouTube only have one purpose, and that's organizing and educating and funding mutual aid projects. So it's whatever. Thanks for the 999. Oh, the Crow. Cori is someone who disappointed me because I remember during Ferguson, she was active. Exactly, guys. I told you guys, she was legit. She was real. That's why if she sells out, that means I don't want to hear anyone talk about running the Democratic Party, because if she's selling out, everyone's selling out. Is it possible to run as an independent in for her at this point, or is it by too late? I'm sure it's too late. Probably according to deadlines, I would think. But if she did run as an independent, her voice wouldn't be silent. She will still be running. She will still be challenging the ruling class, just like Jill Stein. Who's still challenging the ruling class? Marianne Williamson or Jill Stein? When you run as a third party, you run till the game is over. Bernie Sanders quit. He quit because Democrats told him to quit. That's the reality of running as a Democrat. When the Democrats tell you to get the fuck out, you will get the fuck out. When you are truly independent and third party, you will be organizing with your people and raising awareness and fighting the ruling class until the last goddamn day. And that alone, let alone anything else, is enough reason to run third party, especially in the party that don't represent your interest. So I'll read one more super chat. I get to this segment. In response to Cori Bush dumbassery, all I can say is turn up the music. Yep, that's what she did during that homeless protest that people on the left is lying about on Twitter. So I'm going to read the rest of the super chats here soon. This video here, bro, when I first saw this shit, we covered this a while ago. My cringe level was so much, bro. I can't even associate with this. How could anyone associate with this? I know you guys probably seen this clip because the right wing has been playing this clip on loop for years, ever since she was elected, because it really showed her lack of intellectual curiosity and her inability to sell left-wing ideas. And that is, at the end of the day, my biggest criticism of the Cori Bush, the squad. Obviously, they are giant sellouts, but even if you don't believe me, they are just bad communicators of left ideas because they never read an ounce of theory their entire life. And why should you, who have no understanding of left ideas, raise your hand and declare yourself the leader? Once again, I'm not one to brag, but there have been quite a few people asking me to run. And I decline because I don't want to waste the working class resources when I feel I am not ready. If I don't feel like I should be a leader, and I don't think I'm ready to do that, I'm just a soldier doing the best he can. I'm not going to raise my hand if I feel like I'm going to fail the movement. Cori Bush and these dummies was like, hey, I want to lead. I want to be the leader. Dr. Cornel West, I want to be the leader. You raise your hand and say you want to be a leader, but you can't handle criticism? Remember, Dr. Cornel West came on my show, asked us to hold him accountable, and we held him accountable, and he hates our guts to this day because of that. If you want to be a leader, you goddamn right you're going to be held accountable, and you best expect you better be the best orator or left information that there is. If you have the audacity to think you're the leader. Meanwhile, here is Cori Bush, who can't even explain her own goddamn policies, which make everyone who claim to be a socialist look bad because she hijacks our term just like AOC, and she's here to water it down and shift it to the right.
Percentage. So you're saying that you're saying that they're paying their fair share is what you're saying?
No, I'm asking what percentage is a fair share?
Their fair share, the same. If a third of my money is going to taxes, then I think a third of their money should be going to taxes. Well, it does.
I'm trying to understand because you realize the effective tax rate on the poor is less than it is on the rich, right?
Okay, so first of all, I'm not the poor. I'm very close to that line, but I'm not the poor.
Okay, so the effective tax rate on the middle class is less than it is on the rich, correct? What fair share would you like to?
This is what no theory does to a motherfucker. And the right wing, by the way, have been playing this clip for years. And they're like, hey, see, look, socialists can't even explain their own policies. And to be fair, there are a lot of dumb fake socialists like Cori Bush who can. This is what happens when you have no theory. When you have fucking incoherent social democrat ideology, because there's only one way we answer this question, is that we are here to seize the means of production. Period. You're not allowed to steal labor value. That is what we want as socialists and communists. You don't own the means of production, we do. We were here to nationalize industry that you don't own, so the proletariat own it. That's how you answer these questions. Hell, in the United States, the marginal tax rate that socialists should be advocating for is what socialists advocated for in the 40s, which is 95%. But once again, I'm a communist. I'm a real socialist. I don't give a fuck. These marginal tax rates, I'm here to seize the means of production. I don't know about you motherfuckers. I'm here to end wage theft. And stealing this is stuff you say when these capitalists want to press you. But because they haven't read theory, they don't know what they advocate for. Oh no, what the tax rate should be? Oh, 35. Oh no, maybe 35, 34. Oh no. This is what Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders always fell for. They be, oh, how much you think the rate should be taxed? I don't know, 45. I don't know, give me 35. They be like negotiating with the motherfuckers. No. We're here to seize the means of production. You cannot steal labor value anymore. And we're here to put the power in the hands of the workers. Period. And the social democrats are unable to answer these questions because their ideology is inherently incoherent and they don't even know it. So it's much better. And by the way, and the fact that she can't even you don't even have to go on full theory on this. For example, he says the rich actually pay the same amount. No, there's actually loopholes where rich people end up paying less effectively than an average accountant and a secretary. So Cori Bush is so dumb, she can't even call out that lie. You understand? I went almost too advanced there. You can simply say that that's a lie. There's a lot of counting, a lot of loopholes that you can do, which leads people like Jeff Bezos, Amazon paying no money in federal taxes. But she can't even say that because she's not smart enough. She's not serious enough. This is why it's good that she lost. It's good that she lost. Because is it good for us to have idiots out there giving the capitalists all the sound bites they need because you're too dumb to learn theory? And I am not being judgmental, fam. And if you don't have time to read theory, it's actually very complicated. It took me a very long time to get into it. You know what I mean? It's tough to read it sometimes. I get it if you can't do it, bro. I get it. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to make it easily digestible for you guys. I am not saying that everyone has to read theory like that's not what I'm saying. I'm not one of those gatekeepers. What I am saying is if you're one of those people who have the audacity to raise your hand and say that I want to be a leader of the working class movement, you better fucking read. You better fucking understand theory. If you raise your hand to become leader on the left, the bare minimum, you better read State of Revolution for goddamn sure. I bet you anything that I fucking have that Cori Bush and no one in the squad ever read State of Revolution, for example, which is what leads to this stupid shit that come out of their mouth, which leads to them being ineffective leaders. And they had this strategy that they could sell out the working class and somehow fend off the capitalist regime. So you're gonna vote for the NATO proxy war. You're gonna vote to break a rail strike. You have people on your left begging you to do the right thing. You have RBN reaching out begging you to do the right thing, and you don't listen to us. You give us the middle finger and tell us to fuck off. As you listen to a King Jeffries and Nancy Pelosi, and they expect there not to be a consequence to this. And Nico House put it very eloquently here. And this is what I said I was on the Jimmy Dore show, and I explained that Nina Turner was destined to lose, and she deserved to lose because she couldn't overcome dark corporate money because she killed the enthusiasm of the base. One of the reasons why she killed the enthusiasm of the base was because she supported NATO, she was against BDS, and she was a fucking mealy mouse liberal who supported the Democratic Party. So the real leftists and real working class people who would have supported Nina Turner on the ground didn't show up, which means the manpower that you needed to defeat corporate money was not there. So the strategy that they have, where they get elected and they think they won because of that, you get elected and you take a book deal and you think the job is done. It's absurd because what happens the next election? We're not going to show up for your ass, and then the corporate media and the dark money will take you out. This shows the failure of the Justice Democrats and the DSA left, who had the audacity to think they could ignore the people on the ground. They thought we was chaos agents for demanding them to force the vote. We said force the vote on Nancy Pelosi so we can get Medicare for all. They said, fuck you, we're not doing that. We're not going to listen to anything you guys say because we're not in communion with you. We had a great plan, a great suggestion. We like, hey guys, if you want to be in communion with us, here's a suggestion that we have. We want you to do this. And they said, fuck you, you're on your own. So then when the next election comes, we tell them to fuck off and they're alone, and they lose. And they don't even understand why this is a self-defeating strategy. And this is what Nico House says, my hotspot brother. Make sure you guys follow Nico House, the duopoly destroyer, the hotspot assassin himself. Cori Bush got beat by a black male prosecutor who never actually ran an ad calling her out for her tepid support of Palestine. She got beat because she nor the Democrats inspired a high turnout for this primary. So when Cori Bush won, as Nico explained, the turnout was 40%. She lost because the turnout was between 20 and 30%. You want to know why? Because the brothers and the activists that got her elected in St. Louis saw that she sent $60 billion to Nazis in Ukraine and not the hood. So the squad and Bernie Sanders have a strategy that all they have to do to keep their power is to appeal to the liberal wing of the Democratic Party and make sure they don't hate them. A completely failed strategy. And this is why I take great pleasure in seeing these people lose. Nothing makes me happier than seeing these frauds lose. It was you, Cori Bush, who couldn't bring your people out. How are you running on the most popular policies, but you can't get turnout out because you're a sellout and your people see you? They see you posing with Nancy Pelosi. What's poppin', Zoe? I didn't tell Zoe I was going to lie today. You know, I had hit a solo stream. It's been a while since I've been solo, so you guys know I had to pop off today. We about to wrap up because I had an hour. I'm going to get some super chats soon. So I'm going to continue Nico's amazing tweet. In other words, the activists and organizers who got her elected were not inspired to even bother with participating in the primary to protect her seat because they didn't even see a point. Considering she almost never challenged Biden, despite her being elected to do just that. These white liberals think we're stupid. The professional managerial class left think we're stupid. They think we don't see these people. We see you. The only people who support you people are the white professional managerial class, like Ryan Graham, who writes books about how you are performing a political revolution. The Ryan Grahams, that's their only base now. Cal Kalinske, who looks like a fucking soccer mom. He has the soccer mom suburbanite support. And as Nico says here, this isn't just a loss for Bush And it wasn't just a loss for Bowman. It's a warning and a bad omen for Democrats. No one is inspired by you anymore. Turnout is extremely low, and they will likely lose in November because of it. This is foreshadowing of things to come. One thing I do know for sure, which is nothing but a great thing, the failed strategy of the Justice Democrats is dead. And it's the best thing that could possibly happen, because on my timeline, there are a lot of DSA people who are coping because I've been celebrating the loss of Cori Bush and explaining the same things I've been explaining to you guys live on stream. Because I have a reason why I dislike these people. Because, as I said in many speeches before, and I will continue to harp on this, we spend $400 million electing Bernie Sanders and getting the squad elected, and that's a low number. That's me having a low estimate. You guys understand that? And a lot of people have no idea, and this is what I was talking about on Twitter earlier. So I'll just read my tweet. Let me zoom in. Most people don't realize how powerful mutual aid societies can be for a left movement. We talk about this all the time. We had mutual aid live stream and panel. We had a panel. I had my good friend Robert Durden. I had a lot of people that was talking about growing their own food. Us forming our own governments and having these giant systems of mutual aid, which will effectively create our own source of left power and left governance. This is the most powerful act of left organizing, and honestly, our only chance at challenging the Aipac capitalist regime. Because most importantly, our goal as socialists and as leftists should be providing material needs for people. There are people who are dying and starving. So as we are organizing for a revolution, what's more important than making sure someone has a meal while bringing them into your movement? And I'll explain here, we need to create our own government, and it's entirely possible. People don't think it's possible. You want to know why people don't think it's possible? Because the left has been deeply unserious my entire life. Who was talking about mutual aid on YouTube before RBN shown up? No one was talking about it. Everyone was talking about deeply unserious electoral politics and who they should vote for. We did the General Strike Summits. We did the Mutual Aid Summit. We put that on the map because no one was talking about it on Bread 2, the boutique left before this. The reason why no one even understands the vision that I have, that I see in my sleep, is because mutual aid organizations have been drastically underfunded in favor of donating to politicians. So instead of donating towards the future mutual aid society and left government that we need to overthrow this capitalist regime, instead of that, people donate to Justice Democrats. People donate to AOC. People donate to the DSA. Think about the countless millions of dollars that working class people just lit on fucking fire over the years. You guys are telling me that with $400 million and with fighters like me, Rome, and everyone else in the street that is ready to fight, that we wouldn't have some shit popping right now. We're doing our best to get shit popping with crumbs. Give Rome $500,000 and watch his community thrive. Give Rome a fraction of the money that AOC, Cori Bush, and the squad got, and the entirety of Detroit will be booming. Imagine $400 million to serious organizers. I have limitations and stuff I can't even begin to do. But with the money that the PMC left love burning, imagine what we could build, guys. The possibilities are endless. My revolutionary optimism flares out of control just thinking about the possibilities of a serious class trader PMC left that actually sponsored the revolution. FBI searching Scott Ritter's home. Oh Jesus. Zoe, you gotta talk. You gotta give me the deets on that later. I want to make sure I end on the mutual aid point, so we might cover that later. So I explain my vision, and guys, I have this vision. I think about the United States left, and it's haunted me how much we failed. It haunts me that I was even part of the Bernie campaign. But I have this vision, and this is why I go so hard. This is why I want to radicalize people, because I want this dream to become real. A mutual aid network, a global mass urban chapters around the country where we can immediately mobilize like some shit. Like imagine if Israel bombed Iran, imagine the United States bombed Somalia, imagine if we bombed Syria, and then we can just send out a message and a notification would hit all our soldiers of the urban chapters across 50 cities across the United States to become immediately mobilized and hit the streets. Can you imagine if we can just send out a notification to our army to mobilize a mutual aid event to feed homeless people? Imagine the mutual aid networks we could have set up with the $400 million we burnt on the Bernie campaign and even more electing a squad. And I continue. I go so hard at the fake U.S. left because they let us off a cliff. The United States left needs a hard course correction. And I will continue to go after the NATO left. I will continue to view these people as oppositional until we have the course correction from the disaster of the Cenk Uygurs and the Sam Cedars leading independent left and being their voice, of the AOC and the Bernie Sanders being a leader. We need a hardcore course correction as a left working class movement. We must reject the politics of the DSA and Justice Democrats and go as hard as possible for revolution and every step it takes to get there. That's my main message. I'm giving speeches whenever I can to spread this message. The left has been let off the cliff for too long, and I'm not dealing with it no more. So I'm trying my best. This is my promo, guys. We need our class traders to be active, and I will never apologize for relying on the amazing class traders in RBN and the amazing people I've seen that was donating even a few bucks. This is my only priority, guys, is to build up my RBN Kansas City chapter. I want to have a full-blown socialist Marxist movement growing in Kansas City. I already hit a few people up. Already got a lot of people who down. I already got a lot of clout in the community because of what I've done. I know the community center know me well. I feel like I'm building something. I'm trying my best. It takes time. You know what I mean? But if I'm going to be successful at what I'm trying to build, I need help from the class traders, guys. You guys see the fresh cut I got. My boy hooked me up. Hold up. Bro, you guys already know I had to go to Chicago looking sexy as I can. I'm not a sex symbol, but I gotta at least try. You know what I mean? Damn, boy, fixed my line and everything up. So I was talking with the dude, and it came up that he had a school supplies run that he was going to do. He was going to give away clothes and give free haircuts for people in the community. You know what I mean? So that guy who lined me up, the guy who did this shit today, I'm talking to the guy. You guys know I love talking to people. You know what I mean? I love learning about my community. So I'm like, bro, you know, I'm definitely down. I asked him, like, bro, do you need any help fundraising? I was like, bro, do you need any help fundraising for this event you're doing? He like, bro, you know, I need any help I got. Like, bro, I got you, homie. I like, bro, don't worry. I got you. I got you, bro. Already got people volunteering to help. He said he need manpower. I got a few of my homies in the RBN chapter that say they're gonna help. So I said to my homie that, bro, I got you. I'm gonna get you funding. So guys, you guys are not gonna make me a liar, right? You guys are not gonna make a liar out of me, because I got a lot of respect for his brother. We became friends immediately. I don't know how you're not friends with your barber. But I want to show up. He's doing great things for his community. They offering free haircuts. So I want RBN to show up, and I want us to fund this project, get involved. So this is what my next event going to be. This is on the 19th. I know I'm going to be in Chicago around then, but I'm going to have some volunteers I'm going to send, and I'm going to fund them. I'm going to make sure they have all the equipment that they have, because I don't actually think I'm going to be there, because I'm going to be in Chicago, because it's on the 19th. But I want to make sure we get them all the clothing they need. Hell, we might even get them a pizza. You know what I mean? Just do our part, I'm gonna send some people to try to help. I already saw someone hit me up. Oh yeah, and by the way, shit, let me make a banner out of this. I need to start promoting this more. We changed our emails and everything. So hit me up on, if you're in the Kansas City area and you want to help out. If you want to. We also gonna have a meeting in September next month, once I get back from Chicago and everything, about the next action, which probably will be coats in the winter. So if you're in Kansas City, just email me, nick.cruz@gmail. If you want to organize or volunteer. Hell, if you want to organize or volunteer with any of our chapters, feel free to email me. So I'm trying my best, guys. I'm just one guy doing the best I can. So I'm trying to build my own organization here. JB is doing amazing work. I have done mutual aid events, but it never stops. So if anyone want to help me fund this, I would greatly appreciate it. That's the only reason why we're on YouTube, to do this kind of stuff. So let me see if I can find something on this FBI shit, because bro, the chat going crazy. Let me see it. Let me see FBI Twitter. I'm gonna search on Twitter, see what I find. Wait, what? Joe Biden's FBI just raided Scott Ritter's residence. The video on the right explains approximate reasons for this. The statement funds Ukraine's kill list and information terrorists. Oh Jesus, I wouldn't be surprised. Why are they raiding this? This is literally the new age of fascism. Holy shit. Do they even have a crime? Do they even have a crime? Why are they even doing this? Wow. Bro, if you ever become a giant threat, this is why I'm scared for Rome. You guys seen the police been fucking with Rome. He had a lot of problems with the police in Detroit, because once you start becoming a problem, these rights that you think you have is temporary. Like if you're okay with their wars, if you're okay with their corruption, if you're an obedient citizen who never questions the government, then sure, you have a Bill of Rights. You can say whatever you want. You can carry whatever guns you want. You can do whatever you want. You got a full Bill of Rights if you don't question shit. But the second that you start questioning shit, The second that you start fighting against the powerful, then all of a sudden you see that First Amendment right starting to creep away. You start seeing law enforcement that's able to violate the Fourth Amendment. So let's see if this video helps. They included. I followed Casey right there. Well, I thought it did. I don't know what that is. I thought beyond. Actually, I thought it was someone else. But let's see if what they posted is true. So here's the video.
Beyond perverted parody. When the Israelis jail 9 soldiers for raping Palestinian prisoners, and then Israeli citizens rise up and say that the Talmud interpretation of a Jewish law says it's not a crime to rape non-Jews and that these men should be freed. Not only that, then they sent hundreds of people to the Palestinian prisons demanding to be allowed in so they can rape the Palestinian prisoners because they're permitted to under Jewish law. This led to a near civil war in Israel where soldiers were facing off against soldiers. This isn't bad Hollywood movie. This isn't the preface to some sort of zombie apocalypse. This is reality happening in Israel right now. Our ally. We claim that Israel and America is alike in many ways. I don't know, when was the last time 500 American citizens stormed a state prison saying we need to be allowed in to rape the prisoners because we're permitted to under our religious beliefs. So that's happening in Israel as we speak. The 9 soldiers were released now from custody. They're not going to be charged with a crime because apparently in Israel, raping prisoners is no longer a crime. That's just one thing. They're blowing up. They blew up a school today with students in it. The school burned. The students were inside the school burning to death. The parents were outside listening as their children screamed as they were burned to death. That happens on a daily basis. What Israel has become literally the worst incarnation of what we could imagine Nazi Germany was like back in the day. I mean, it
So I see what that video was now. That wasn't him explaining the FBI situation. That was explaining why the FBI and the establishment hates Scott Ritter now, because he went extremely hard against the state of Israel, and he has over the last few months now. And remember when we had Scott Ritter on RBN, he explained how he was speaking to a Palestinian organization at some event or whatever, and he apologized to them. He said, "I'm sorry that I didn't see you guys for so long. I'm sorry that I believe in the state of Israel." And I must say, I'm 100% extremely impressed with Scott. You guys know that. We had him on the channel. We had banger conversations. I don't know if Scott shifts further to the left because he's on Revolutionary Blackout, but this motherfucker goes hard every single time we had him on RBN. And this explains why they are fucking with him. So here's Sarah from DD Geopolitics, who we just had on with Zoya's Love, Zoya's Life. But that was earlier this week. So here's this last thing I'm gonna read because I'm just now seeing the story too. I saw everyone in the chat going crazy about it. So let me read this. Breaking: FBI raids Scott Ritter's home. The FBI is conducting a search at the Delmar home of Scott Ritter. The investigation details remain unclear. Of course it will. Something tells me that it will never become clear. And we remember when Scott's passport was recently confiscated and he was prevented from flying to Russia. So the State Department got eyes on this man. And to be honest, I'm terrified for Scott Ritter, man. The same way I tell Rome I'm terrified for him, I'm terrified for Scott Ritter. Scott Ritter is a well-known, so this is the biography we already know. So pretty much they just add the biography. You guys know who he is. So wild shit. That's the story. Let me read some super chats. And then we wrap the stream up. Nick, everyone FBI just raided Scott Ritter. Yeah, I just read that. Did you vote on Missouri initiative to fund COP? I didn't vote this primary season, so I didn't see that on the ballot. I didn't vote. I wasn't feeling it. which I probably should because they got ballot initiatives in Missouri. I told you guys before that's the only reason I vote is because of ballot initiatives. So I usually do vote because of ballot initiatives, but I wasn't feeling it because of the genocide and shit. But I probably should. I will admit that that's probably not good. I probably should have voted for make sure because I think they had an initiative to fund cops. So it would have been good if I showed up to vote against that, I guess, maybe. Right? You don't thank you, Mark, for another super chat. You don't even need to know the details. If your society have homeless people and billionaires at the same time, you know it's fucked. Yeah. Well said. And I am a communist, a Marxist, and I believe in prosperity. I'm not like these dumb leftists who they have like a poverty fetish. Know what I mean? I am an advocate of prosperity. I have a criticism of capitalism because it doesn't provide prosperity to enough people. I am a builder. We want to build stuff as Marxists. We are builders and we want people to thrive. So once there's no homeless people, then everyone can thrive. Then we can become millionaires. Then we can have millionaires everywhere because we have a coherent system where we don't have homeless people. Because once we get rid of poverty and homelessness, then we can talk about balling. I'm all about balling. I want to fucking ball, but not under the system of oppression, not through the exploitation of people's labor value, not at all. And that's what we need to advocate for. That's why, yes, everyone, I see this comment. Everyone restating revolution. That's the first thing I read. Someone told me like start state revolution, and I became obsessed with that because I'm like, bro, that's when I knew that everything that even though I wasn't a theory reading communist, that's why I call myself a social democrat. When I read State and Revolution, that's why I was like, oh shit, I already was all for this. All this stuff makes sense to me now. But now I'm able to explain it. So everyone, that's a good starting point. It was my starting point. A few years ago. Thanks for the $2. Tech 9. My Kansas City love. What's popping, homie? Thanks for the super chat. We live in a country full of sellout, turncoats, and lemmings. It's sad how easy fellow black will listen more to twerking Lizzie than are being like people. Say it again for the people in the back. Thank you for the super chat, my friends. Thank you for the $4.99. I'm sorry, I was having too much fun. Where did I get that from? It's from a stand-up. You ain't gonna do shit. I think it's from I think from some stand-up a long time ago. But that was immediately popped in my head. You guys know I like to have fun on stream sometimes. I'm glad a few of you guys found it funny. Thank you for the $7.99. In response to Cori Bush's dumbassery, all I can say is turn up the music. Thank you for the $7.99. I appreciate it. Here's another one from Old Crow. Cori is someone who disappoints. Oh yeah, I read this one before, so I think I'm caught up. Nice, I think I'm caught up. So thank you everyone for watching. Savvy and JV show will be tomorrow. I have another great international journalist that's joining me on Friday. It will be more of an interview style show. That's why I wanted to get at least one rant stream in. The next week or two is going to be because I got the event with Worker Strike Back on Sunday. I'm going to be going out to Chicago. I'm going to fly out there that weekend because I need at least a day or two to get situated. I might even do a live stream in Chicago. Shit, who knows? So I may fly in Chicago on the 17th. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fly in on the 17th because the rally on the 20th. Because I can always do live streams there. I can always do a hotspot there. That's what I'm going to do. So next week going to be squirrely. Venezuela analysis will be joining on Monday as well. It's going to be great having them on after everything that went on in Venezuela. Shahid Bosin will be joining us. He is working to expel the United States from the UN. He does great work on the international stage. It's this guy here. Zoya was telling me about him. It's gonna be a promising conversation. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. And I will be back on Friday with this show. And then I need to figure out, man, I got a lot of shit coming up here soon. Oh, Jesus. It should be fun next couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to meeting all the comrades that's going to be in Kansas City and Chicago. Thank you guys for joining. Have a good day. Peace out.